I feel overwhelmed. There's too many things I'm supposed to be doing and the list grows longer and longer each day. Instead of tackling them, I sit there and scroll on my phone and switch from app to app. There's a bunch of chores waiting to be done only to need doing again in a few days. My inbox is piled up with messages, but I don't have the energy to reply to any of them. The same thoughts circle around and around in my head and they keep me up at night. I feel like I'm just stuck in a hamster wheel and time is running out. And so I painted how I feel about it. But before I show you how I painted that, let's talk about it a bit more. To be honest, I thought that being stressed was just a part of who I was. Like whatever I do, there was always a little bit of stress there. And maybe that sounds horrible, but for most of the time, I actually didn't mind it too much. After all, I kind of didn't know what it was like to not be stressed. And I thought that maybe stress wasn't that bad. Maybe it was the thing that drives me. But at some point last year, when things got especially difficult, I asked myself, is this really how I'm gonna live the rest of my life, being constantly stressed and overwhelmed? So I set out to see if I could get to the bottom of all these feelings. And the first step I took was to reduce my workload. I still had to earn income, so I couldn't just stop everything. I decided to keep my Patreon and my online shop running. Aside from that, I stopped any future projects, I stopped posting on YouTube and limited my posts on social media. I wish I could say that taking a rest is so great right off the bat, but in fact, this first stage was really hard. If you tend to overwork yourself like me, then maybe you'll understand. Even though I was still working, I was doing less than I normally would. And that made me feel really unproductive, lazy, and just really anxious. During this time, social media was a really bad place for me to be. It was so difficult to see other people making things while I was not doing much. In that time, I read the book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Stephen told this story about a farmer who one day discovers that his goose lays a golden egg every day. The farmer becomes rich by selling the golden eggs, but he eventually grows greedy and impatient. And he thought, instead of waiting day by day, why not just kill the goose now and get all the golden eggs at once? So he goes and kills the goose and finds absolutely nothing inside. In this analogy, the goose is the production capability or the worker, and the golden eggs are the production or the work being produced. To keep producing golden eggs, you need to take consistent care of the goose. In other words, to be effective is to not just focus on short-term results, but to maintain the balance so that you can keep producing for the long term. What I took away from this is how important it is to invest in this goose, in me, to make sure that I am healthy, I'm well rested, and I'm feeling inspired to produce the golden eggs not just today, but over the lifetime. Towards the end of April, my partner and I took a bicycle ride through the Shimanami Kaido, a route that crosses through 6 islands in the Seto Inland Sea. It was my first ever bike trip and a very memorable one because this trip really drove home all the things that were on my mind in the past few months. It was all about the journey and not the destination. For 2 days, we biked quietly, passing the small towns, the ocean, the bridges. If we were to take a bus, the whole route would take just 2 hours, but I would have missed all of these little details. In a world where we feel like we have to constantly rush from one place to the next, there is luxury in taking your time to get somewhere. In this slowness, I felt the abundance of time. Everything is as it has always been and will be. A tree does not rush to grow, and flowers don't rush to bloom. Everything happens in its due time. I need to start working on this painting, which is going to be for a group exhibition that's coming up. It's called You're Just My Type, and it's all about words and typography, and so this is what I came up with. It's very true to my current mental state. Usually in my artwork, I try to have a positive message or at least make it a little bit cheeky. This one's a bit different because it has a more, I guess, negative tone. So I considered changing the words to something more positive. But you know what? Art has always been like a diary to me. When I look back on certain pieces, I can remember feelings or what I was going through at those times. And so I feel like this is just going to be one of those pieces. There is a quote that goes, "If you don't know what you want, you'll probably get what somebody else wants." I realized that because I didn't know what I wanted clearly in my mind, I was letting everything else affect me. I would scroll through my phone, see some tips about how I should be posting reels every day, and then think that that's what I should be doing. I would see people trying out different types of art, and I would think that maybe I should be experimenting more. I would see people posting YouTube videos weekly, and I think that I should be doing that too. But as I invest more time into self-care, doing things like exercising, fixing my sleep, eating healthy, and just spending more time connecting to myself and listening to what I really want in life, I started to gain clarity. There's so many things out there that you could be doing, and I don't need to do everything. I just need to do the things that matter to me, the things that I value in my life, the things that truly bring me joy. So in this piece, when I say I'm so over it, it's kind of a wrap up of my journey in these past months. I'm really done with things that do not align with my values. I am done with non-reciprocal relationships that drain my energy. I am so tired of taking life so seriously, and I was also done with not taking care of myself properly and leaving myself lost in the fog. I don't want to be like that anymore. Painting this was honestly so much fun. Right now, I feel so much more inspired than where I was a year ago. I also feel the most centered that I've ever been in my life. I still don't know exactly where I'm headed, but whatever I do from now, my goal is to stay connected to myself as I move forward. So this painting is going to be exhibiting at Utrecht Gallery in Melbourne, Australia this month. And if you're interested in purchasing the original, you can contact the gallery. I'm also offering the postcard version as the Patreon reward for this month. Let me show you guys. It's nighttime now, so it's probably not very clear. But if you're interested in that, you can check out my Patreon as well. For now, I don't know how often I'm going to be posting on YouTube. I want to give myself the spontaneity at this moment, but I really appreciated everyone who left comments asking when I was gonna come back. I really missed making videos, and I am just really honored to hear that I was able to connect with you guys. And before I go, I just want to say thank you to my patrons for all the months that I couldn't really do much. I could only just manage Patreon, and you guys kept me going. So I really appreciate you guys. And that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!